Alright guys, this is Tech Adam from Code Resource. Welcome back to the tutorial in this series where we are creating a portfolio template. And in this tutorial, we are going to complete the series, and we're going to complete this template, but I think we are still going to do one more video where we are going to make the site, the template responsive. So without further ado, let's get to it. So I think what's left for us is to do the testimonial section and this brand section, and also the get news feed section. So we're going to be completing that here. So as you can see, there is a slider here, right? So we're going to add a dependency called sleek slider. So in order to add sleek slider, let's go to the site and see what's required. So what we are supposed to be doing is add the dependency. So if you go to usage here, you would see what you need. You need a div here with a parent div with children element, children div, and you're going to be adding this sleek CSS and sleek CSS theme, and then you're going to need jQuery, and you're going to also add the sleek JS. So I'm going to use the CDN for that. So I'm just going to go and search for sleek slider. Sleek slider CDN. So I'm going to go to this one. Yeah, so I'll click on sleek. So, okay, I'll click on these and I'll get, this is the CSS here. I'll get this theme CSS, copy HTML. I'm going to come back here to my project index file, and I'm going to add that. I'm going to add that here. That's the theme CSS. So I'm going to need the CSS itself. I'm going to copy HTML. I'm going to add that here. Sorry about that. I'll add that here. So what's left for me is the JavaScript file. So I'll copy that also. I'll come back here to the bottom of our page, just below our body tag, and I'm going to add it to, let me press this. Okay. So let me add that through. That's added. So what's left for us now is to let's create that section. We're going to create this section now. So I'm going to say section testimonials. Now in this section, I want to copy this, the header that we normally put. I'm going to copy. Oh, sorry about that. I don't think I copied it. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to close the div. So I'm going to say testimonials. What people say. Yeah, I'm going to leave it that way. I think that's what I put in the previous one, right? What people say. Yeah. So so we're going to need a div. As a container, so I'm going to say div dot, let me call this slider. I'm going to call this slider, and okay, let's say slider container, and in here I'm going to say div slider, and each slider is going to have a div this is the parent slider container, and this is going to have single slider. So now we're going to have multiple single sliders, but before then, let me style this. So here is going to have two sections. We're going to have slider info, and we're going to have slider image. Oh, sorry, the slider image. Yeah, so now I'm going to copy this. That's if I can. Okay, not copying. Let's say we wanted to design our website to be trendy. So let me write something like that. Website. To bring better to bring in. Alright guys, so if we were to go back and view our page, you'd see that it's just, yeah, so this is the way it is right now. So I also want to add a span. Let's say h2 and say span.ti comments. Yeah, so we're getting it. So here each of these guys is going to have a background image. So I'm going to add one now. And I'm going to say style, say background, image URL, and here we want to add not this. I'm going to add one of these. Let's say web girl. So it's going to be an img. .jpg. Yeah, so it will not be showing now because I don't think it does have a height. Yeah, so let's go to our CSS and style that. So we're going to come to our testimonial section. We're going to give it a padding of top. Let's see 5 rem and left right 0. And give it a background of we're going to use our variable. I think it's darker bj. Yeah, I'm going to give a color of white. So let's see how that looks now. Okay, now this we're going to use, okay, I think it's dark bg. Yeah, so it makes much more sense now. So for the slider container, we're going to have we're going to give the slider container display of flex and the justify content of center. So for the slider, sorry, I want to give it a width of say 80%. Let's see how that looks. That's making sense. Let me yeah, so let's see 75%. Let's see how that looks. I think it's okay for now. So for the single slider, let's give it a display of grid, right? And let's see how that looks. Okay, so grid template columns, we're going to say 2, we're going to say repeat to 1fr. So if we refresh now, you could see, yeah, that everything is coming into play. So right now, let's style the content of the slider info. So I have a h2 and a h3. We actually forgot to add one thing, which is this, which is the who's the person that said it and what is their job description. So I'm going to add that here into h4 the JSON do, and I'm going to say p that has an I, say head of human resource. Right, so next, if we refresh that, we'll see that it's working now. So if we go back here and say single slider, sorry about that, single slider, I think there's a h2. So for the single slider, I want to give it a padding of say 3 IM, for example. Let's see how that looks. That's too much. Well, not even there. Slider info is what I want to give a padding. So I'm going to say padding, let's say 1.5. and see how it looks. Slider info. Yeah, so it's making sense. So slider info is going to have a background image, URL, so slider bg. So we're going to go one folder up. Sorry, we're going to go folder up and go a folder up again, go into image and slider bg.png. So I want to refresh and see. I don't think I'm being able to access that. So I'm here, I'm going to come here, go to slider. Oh, there's a mistake here. So yeah, you can see it has taken effect, and I want to give it a background size of cover and background repeat of no repeat. Yeah, so let's go to slider info and style the h2. So I'm going to give it a font size of 2 rem, for example. Let's see how that looks. Is that a h2? Yeah, it's a h2. So I think that's the one that's holding, okay, this guy. Yeah, so I think that's okay. So we'll style the h3 next. That's this. Then this, the h4 and the p tag. So we're going to give this a color of, sorry, I think it's BG accent dark. So next, we're going to style the h2 slider, h3 I mean, slider info. I'm going to give it a font size of say 1.5 IM. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it's coming up. I'm going to say 1.8. Sorry, 1.8. Yeah. Okay, so let's give it a margin top of 1 rem. Yep, give it a line height of say 2 rem. I might have to reduce that, but let's see the okay, I have to definitely increase it, so let's say 3. Yeah, it makes much more sense, and I want to justify text align to justify. Yeah, making much more sense. And we're going to give the margin bottom 1 rem. Making sense. All right, so I actually want to increase the padding for the slider info. I don't think yeah, so I'm going to use 2. I think it's making sense. making sense. So let's say top bottom of 3, left right of 2. Yeah, so let's start the h4 info h4 to the font size from 1.3, I think 0.4. The color BG accent dark. Yeah, so let's refresh. Yeah, you can see that in play, and let's give it a margin button of 0.5 and refresh. Yeah, so I think it's looking good. So for the slider image, yeah, slider image. So if we come back here and see slider image, just want to add some styles which are related to the background. So this is all I need for the slider image. So let's refresh. Yeah, you could see that. And so I'm going to add the slider now. I'm going to add the slider. So if we go back to Slick Slider here, we could see that in order to add it to your page, in order to add it, after adding all the dependencies, you need to add this section. So what there is, if you notice, I didn't add jQuery, right? Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to let's close this and open it again. The index. So I didn't bother to add jQuery because we've added jQuery here when we were adding the FancyBox. So let's add app.js now. Let's add this to our app.js, and we're going to add app.js here. Source, going to go to assets /js/app.js. So the class we want to target here is the slider class. So we're going to come back here and change this. So for these options, we're going to remove that. We don't need that now. So if I go back here to my page and refresh, all right, so I think there's a mistake. So guys, I think we targeted the wrong container. So for example, let's target the slider container and see slider container. Let's see whether that solves the problem. Yeah, so what we want to do right now is go back to our CSS. If you remember, we gave the slider container, we give this slider 75 width, and so we're going to remove that here and we're going to add it here. So for these, we're going to remove the width and we're going to come back here and refresh. So for this, let's remove the display and give it a margin of auto, so it goes to center. Yeah, so if we were to add other, let's go back here and duplicate this, duplicate the slider. So I'm going to duplicate this. I think we have 3. So for this, I'm going to be changing the images. I think I have web guy and I have web dude. Yeah, so I think the web guy is a PNG file, web guy.jpg. All right, so let's refresh and we'll see that the slider stuff has been added, the slider navigation has been added. Yeah, so this is it, guys. So I think now we can go to the brand section. So we're going to create some So the brand section is just going to be immediately after this container. We're going to add it here. So I'm going to say div of brands, and this brand is going to have images, right? It's going to have, like, let's say div, let's call this inner brands, and here I want to add images. Just going to add the images directly here. So in source, let's see what one is this next. Let's add the image. So I'm going to go to img/brands/ let's say one.png. Alright, so let's duplicate that in 5 places here. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll come back to my style, and I'm going to say that inner brands, display of grid, and grid template columns. I want to say repeat in 5 places 1 fr. Sorry. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, so you could see that inner brands. Let's refresh. Yeah, so all we have to do is give the images of it inner brands. G width, say 100%, and here I want to give grid gap of say 1 rem. Yeah, so let's refresh now. Yeah, you could see that. You could see. So let's give the images say 80%. Yeah. So I want to give this brand, give it a margin top of 3 rem. And let's refresh and see. Yep. So besides that, this inner brands, I want to give the brands section itself, I want to give it a padding top bottom 0 and the left right of 3. So let's see how it looks. Not brands. Refresh. Yeah, so you could see the way it looks now. I'm going to increase the margin here to 5. Yeah, I think it's looking similar. So what's left for us is the newsfeed section. So let's get to doing that. So for the newsfeed section, I'm going to go back here, and I'm still going to I need these sections, so I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to change it to news feed. Yeah, I'm going to complete close this div and the section. Yeah, so here I'm going to say news feed. What did I even write there again? Get news feed. Yeah, I'm going to say news and get news feed. Yep. So get news feed. Yeah, so now I'm going to say div.news content. If I come back here, you'd see, yeah, so the news feed is started showing. So inside here we're going to have single news. Sorry, I think news. Yeah, and each single news is going to have an image and the title section. Right, so for single news, I'm going to add a div with a news PG. That's what I'm going to call it. So, and each of this is going to have a background let's add a style in the background image URL. So I'm going to go to img/web guy, for example, .jpg, and here I'm going to have div.news info, right? And in the news info, let me copy some stuff. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to say P that has a bold in it, or let me just say P. I'll start at CSS, and here I'm going to have a span. I'm going to take this, and this guy I'll say span.date. Let me make this a P paragraph. Span.date is going to have this guy inside of it. So let's refresh on our main page. Yeah, so let's go to I'm going to have like 4 of these here. 1, 2, 3. So for this I'm going to say web girl, web dude, web girl again. So we have 4. So now let's go back to our and go and style news content. Let's go to our CSS. Now in our CSS, news content, let's start from news section, the news feed. So news feed section, I'm gonna give it a padding, top bottom 5, left right 0, and I want it to have a background of from BG, or I said darker BG, yeah, and the color of white. So let's see how that looks. Yep. So yeah, so now I'm going to go to news content and give it a display of grid. I'm going to give it grid gap of 2 area. Yeah, so let's see how that looks. Okay, so let's grid template rows, not rows, columns. I want to say 4 repeats 4 times. Yep. So I'm thinking that we're getting the exact same thing that we need. So for this now we're going to go to single news, and single news has a news background. So I'm going to say single news or news BG. I want to give it a height of say 250 pixel. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that's too much. Let's say 200. Yeah, I think that's okay. So we want to say, we want to give it a background repeats, repeat of no repeat, and background size of cover. Yeah, so let's look how. Yeah, I think that's okay. So for the single news, we don't need to add this here. News BG is alright. So now we have news info. So I'm going to say news info. So this I want to give a padding of 1 rem. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that's looking alright. So so news info with a P. So this time around I want to style this P, so I'm going to give it a class of news title. So if I come back here, I'm just going to say news title. Let's remove this B. I want to give it a font size of, not font size actually, font weight. I want to make it bold. I want to give it a margin bottom of 0.5 IM. Yep. So for the second P, news title, I think the other one is news date, the span, right? I think there's a span here. Yeah, date. I think it's date. So now I'm going to say color, and I want it to have BG accent dark, and I want it to have a font weight of bold. So let's refresh. Yeah, so we could see that. Up next, I want to give you like a box shadow. So I'll come back to this place and say single news. Now I want to have a box shadow of 0 pixel, 0 pixel, say 10 pixel hash. F1, F1, F1. So let's see how that looks. Yep, I think it's too much. Let's reduce it to 4 or 3. So guys, you could do the rest yourself. There's nothing much here. So try and challenge yourself and do this. The remaining is just a section here. It's nothing much in it. So with these, I think we've come to the end of this tutorial, but we may still have to do one more, which is going to tackle the responsiveness when it comes to different screens. So I want to thank you guys for hanging on, and please don't forget to subscribe, and also comment in the comment section below, and click the notification icon, like the video. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.